Well, my first was, oh my, can I really do this? Can I do this? Very nervous because I've just been admin assistant for almost 3 years. I was an EA for 16 before, so it was a totally different switch in the profile of what I was doing. We had Win School prior to, and I just had that pretty much under my belt, and I was feeling very confident in that, and then we switched over to PowerSchool. My first thing was, where is the PowerSchool manual? And that would be a help for me because I am a hands-on person, but I always like to read as to what's there so that I could get a better understanding of it prior to actually having hands-on training. Which brings me to, are we going to have training? Is it going to be in the school? Is it going to be out of the school? My preference on what we had done was out of the school would be great because of not having as many interruptions in the school system as we do. Also, when would it be? You know, because I know that it has to have information in PowerSchool in order to practice it. Those were pretty much my basic thoughts whenever we first started this. I learn by doing. So for me, hands-on is what I have to do, and I was very anxious to get the information to do it and to work with it. Also, talking out loud for me is good. I think it drove some teachers crazy some days when they walked in the office, but that is the way that I could do it, as to talk it out loud to myself so that I know where I'm at. But I found as well that completing a task over again more than once and talking it out loud again made it just more confirmation for me as to what I was doing, and till I really felt comfortable at that moment. Not saying that when I went back to it the next day that I completely forgot what I was doing. I used a lifeline, and I had many lifelines out there, and one would be my fellow administrative assistants that are in PowerSchool learning the same as what I was. One being our PowerSchool teacher, as I call her, which is Candy Horseman. We had Shonda Cormier as well, and also Scott Steves. Calling them right away was, you're in the moment, you can figure it out and get the job done from there. Job aids, it was hands-on training that you can actually see the whole screen of what you saw, with different names, of course, and schools, but it was definitely a huge help. I was trying to relate it to what I was used to doing in my past with Win School. So another thing that I do is I ask lots of questions, and my dad would be proud because that is a way to learn. And after we were into full in-school training and actually working with PowerSchool in our school in September, an email would go out from the PowerSchool team, and you could sign up for different time slots. It could be a 2-hour session, it could be an hour and a half, depending on what the time slots were available. So you could sign up with an individual for them to physically come to you, which was awesome. I really, really enjoyed that. So I would have my little notepad, and I would have little questions, and I would write them down. And Candy would always be the one that I would hook with because she knew where I was at. And when she saw the notepad, I'm sure she thought, oh dear, I'm going to be here for a lot longer than 2 hours. But it was all good. It was a wonderful, for me as an admin assistant in the school, it was a wonderful way for her to see where I was at personally and help me from there and to move on. When I look back to whenever we were told that this was going to be a new system, and I love my job, so I didn't, this is going to be something I had to learn. But how was I going to learn it? And of course, things are going through your mind, and people are talking about it to see. Some don't want to talk about it at all. Others are yapping about it all the time. And when they did some training for us initially in the spring of last year, that was a big help just to get our eyes open as to what's going on. But until the rollover in July from Win School to PowerSchool, which they couldn't do it up until that point anyway, that's when the rubber met the road. And, so like I say, I was not as organized as I usually am in September, but that's okay. And they kept reiterating it's okay that, this is the way things are right now. It will get better. And I'm here to say that, yes, it has gotten better. We're into almost the beginning of December, and I feel much more confident in looking for something, and I'm not making as many clicks as to find it. It is a lot quicker. And I was very much supported 110% by my admin team, Nick and Kevin, and because they didn't know the answers either. So we're all in the same boat, because even though you're sometimes literally sweating at the moment, you will find the answer and you will get things done. And everybody understands that there is a new system. So we're all in this together. Oh, don't worry, you will get through this. If I can do this, you can do this. But anyway, I wish you the best of luck and have fun with PowerSchool.